Hello and welcome, Adam Thomas from Balancing Touch, and today I want to show you some of my go-to books. These first two are books that I think every reflexologist should own. And the reason being mostly in principle, and also of course the information that's contained in one of these, but this is The Stories the Feet Can Tell Through Reflexology and The Stories the Feet Have Told by Eunice Ingham. Of course, if you're a reflexologist, you already know who she is, of course, because she's the grandmother of reflexology. But there has been a lot of updates and reflexology has changed. Some of the points have been modified and things like that to be the standard. But I think it's such a great book because it's coming right from the source of reflexology. So Stories the Feet Can Tell Through Reflexology and also Stories the Feet Have Told are just so important to the history and the making of reflexology. I just really get inspired every time I read these because coming from the source and how an amazing woman she was to take reflexology all over the world basically, right? So a must-have. So the next book I want to cover is, I'm so glad that she did all the research and all this for this book, and it's called Reflexology, the Art, Science, and History by Christine Esel here. And this book is awesome because I'm not really a history person. What I was taught in my class was enough. I didn't need to know anything else, I thought. But after a couple of years of being a reflexologist and stuff, I really wanted to know more of a deeper understanding of reflexology, and a lot of the deeper understanding can come from when you dig back in history to kind of understand the time that reflexology developed and where it came from, and where some of the founders of reflexology might have picked up some ideas and stuff. And she just did such a comprehensive look, and she dug through the history, and so I just think this one is also a must for anybody who is a reflexologist and teaches classes, because this gives you a great history lesson of reflexology, right? And it goes through also not only the history, but it also goes through some of the theories along the way of how it is that we have reflexology here and now today. So this is a great one. One of the reasons why I can't separate these books and why I like both of them equally is there's also a thread that kind of runs through both of these books, and there's so much information covered in the language of the feet and also Teach Yourself Reflexology that I just think they're just so amazing. This book here, sometimes I kind of prefer this one because it's a little bit, I don't know if it's easier to understand, but I feel this one's a bit more as far as organizing and getting information that I need. I feel this one does that for me. But this one is really geared towards teaching you reflexology, so the movements and things like that. But what I love about it is just how she throws in all of her extra little tidbits of information other than, just how to walk your thumb, for example, right? It throws in just extra little tidbits as you're learning basically the session that she does. So I just think this one's really great. And it goes without saying that this book is absolutely amazing. If you are at all interested in learning how to read feet, how the language of the feet, what the feet are trying to tell you when one toe's bigger than the other or things like that, this book has a lot of those answers for you. And what I love about it too is it's organized. in a way, like, you know, talks about the toes, talks about parts of the foot and things like that. So when you are, you know, have clients and stuff like that, and you're really wanting to dig a little bit deeper into some of their issues, and maybe they have something going on with their arches and you can't come up with anything. For example, you can just look through here and find out where it is. Like section 3 here is the arches, so you can just look up there and see what the meaning behind it and just some other information. And I also like that she has these cute little illustrations all through the book. They really are a nice visual guide. Gives you some extra little tidbits of information because I think they've spent a lot of time, and whoever, well, I could probably find out who did it. Illustrated by Michelle here, Michelle Davey. I think she really captured in these simple illustrations more information that it actually talks about. So I just think it's absolutely amazing because you have basically what it's about, a lot of information about it, and then a nice little illustration to give you some extra visual meaning behind it. So this is just such a great book. And it's one of those books though that you can't really start at the beginning and read all the way through. You get a little bit like, wow, this is way too much information. So I use it more as a reference whenever I have clients that they're needing some other extra information and wanting to go further with something. This is a book that I grab. This one, I feel, is more of, you are able to read it from cover to cover in a lot of ways because it's just organized that way. As you're learning about reflexology, it's teaching you some extra information and things like that. So this one, I feel, is more of like you can actually read it by section and keep going through it. Where this one, I found it very more difficult to actually read through it. And that's why I think I like both of these books equally, is because they sort of work together in my experience anyway. So I don't think if I had a choice between the two, I would have to pick both of them, right? I think if you're just getting introduced to Chris Stormer, maybe this one. But yeah, again, it's hard to, I can't make a decision, sorry. I'm gonna pick both of them. So there you go. So those are some of my picks and my go-to books when I'm needing a little bit of inspiration. If you have any that you absolutely love, please let me know. Let everybody know by putting a comment below this video. And also I'm going to put links to the books that I recommended in today's video. So this is Adam Thomas. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you again. Cheers.